Today we're going to take a look at the Graf-X Industries Army Tank Vehicle. This was based off the original GI Joe Wolverine toy and has been upscaled to 1/12 scale compatibility. We're going to go ahead and look at all the different parts that are included in the kit, and we will then show all the steps necessary to assemble this. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll clear off the table. All right, let's start with the bottom section here. What you'll need is the two bottom pieces and these two long rectangular connectors. The connectors are designed to just go ahead and slot in here, and they're just meant to help guide the pieces while they're being glued. So they'll fit in one way. They're not meant to be sturdy. They're just meant there to be for a guide. We recommend putting some glue inside of these connectors holes and then pushing them in so they do harden and solidify. And then you'd want to glue this edge here as well. Then you would take this side and you just line up the connectors. So we'll get that first one in there, and we'll get the second connector lined up here, which is easier to do when you're not on camera. Okay, so once you have this all connected, you would just go ahead and glue and bond these two pieces together like so. Once you have this glued, what you can do to add additional strength, if you want to use a soldering iron and iron the seams all along the edges here, that will help reinforce the bond and make this extra durable. So that is the first step. You have two smaller square connectors here that will be used to help guide the connections. You'll want to do the same sort of gluing or welding process. I just highly recommend you watch that top edge, as that part will be visible when you're done. You may want to just consider only welding the bottom edge. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. So these just insert and help guide the connection. And then we'll go ahead and make those connections now. And as you can see, those connect together, and you would then glue these pieces, these two halves. For this demonstration purpose, I will not be actually gluing any of the pieces. It is just for demonstration, but you will want to make sure that these are glued. And again, if you want to go ahead and solder this for additional strength, we recommend doing it here only on the bottom side for the top. The next step is to get all of the different wheel components out and then go ahead and fix the hubcaps to each of them. The kit comes with 8 medium-sized hubcaps that fit the inner wheels. Then you'll have 2 smaller hubcaps that fit the 2 small front wheels. And you will have 2 larger hubcaps that fit the larger sprocket wheels here in the back that will help drive the belt system. So in order to do that, it's just simply just gluing them into place. So you would just dab some glue on the hubcap and put them into place. That's simple. So you just do that for all of the pieces. And there you have them, all the hubcaps installed and ready to go. Now, we'll set these off to the side for now and move on to the next step. After bringing the base piece back out, we'll complete the installation of the seat. The seat has these 4 pegs that are meant for both lining it up, and you can glue these into the base. When you look under here, you'll see that there is 4 holes where each of those cylinders sit into. So you just simply drop those cylinders into place and go ahead and put the seat in place. I'll do that off camera and be right back. All right, as you can see, the pegs are now in place. And once in place, the seat then has the 4 holes on there, and they just go right over the spots on the pegs. And there you have it. In most cases, the seat fits just fine with friction, but if you'd like to glue it in, this is your opportunity to do that as well. We'll rotate this piece to the back, and we'll go ahead and work on the next piece here, which we'll bring in, and that is this. It is the trailer hitch component, and here we have 2 guide pegs, and there's 2 holes here, and then you just go ahead and put some glue on here and glue this right into place like so. And it will look like that when completed. Once the trailer hitch part is completed, we'll move on to the wheels, and we'll need 1 sprocket wheel, 4 inner wheels, and the 1 smaller front wheel. The sprocket wheel goes to the farthest back peg, and you can just go ahead and slot each of these wheels on right now. They do fit on snug, but then they roll freely. So there you have that. We just repeat the same process on the other side. And at this point, we go ahead and bring out the treads. Here are the tank treads now. We'll go ahead and install those next. We'll set one off to the side. And the easiest way to install these is to either fully disconnect or slightly disconnect this front wheel. I'll just remove it completely for the moment. And then start by feeding it onto the back wheel. And make sure it's around all of the other wheels. And then on this final wheel here, you will go ahead and line up the teeth of the tread into the wheel. There we go. And then go ahead and just give it a little stretch to put it into place. And then you just want to make sure all the treads are in the grooves of each of the wheels. And as you can see, it is a fully working movable tread system. Now, this is 3D printed, so don't expect this to roll as smoothly as a normal wheeled vehicle or something that's not free rolling, but it does have the ability to roll with its treads. It is a little tight. It is not the easiest to move, but it does absolutely roll. We're going to go ahead and repeat the process on the other side. Okay, so again, we'll disconnect this front wheel just to make things a little easier on ourselves. And we'll go ahead and feed this tank tread around the existing wheels. And then again, just feed the different teeth here on the back side of the tread into one of these slots here on the wheel. And once you have them in place, go ahead and fit the wheel onto the front peg. And then just make sure you guide all the teeth in between the different treads of the tank. And you have yourself another rolling tank system. These are independent rolling. And you have it all set. Now we'll go ahead and connect the top and bottom halves. To do that, you'll notice that there's a couple of things. One, there are these two slots here on the front side of the base of the tank. And then you have this clip here on the back. So as you install the top half, you will slot the front in first, lay it back, and it will then clip onto this back clip. There is a spot down here for you to reach your finger to help you push this clip back if you do need to remove the top after you've assembled it. Let's bring the top piece out and check that out. Here's the top half. Here are the tabs that I was referring to. They will just slot in to the front first, and then this will just clip down into place. And as you can see, that's all that's needed, and the top is now secured. Now that we have the top part on, we can add all the accessories to the top. So we have a couple of different ones here. We have the small little hammer that can clip in. We have the shovel accessory. Now just keep in mind these are 3D printed. They're very thin. They're meant to be decorative. So just be gentle with them. Let me just move that over a little bit. There we go. And you have the shovel piece here. Then we also have the flexible tow cable. So that can be added in here as well. So we're just going to go ahead and loop that on one side and loop it on the other. And as you can see, it fits just nicely right where it belongs. Moving on towards the front, we have both the engine slot and the headlights to do. The headlights do have a clear plastic and there is a hole already in the bottom. So if you do choose to light it, you can put an LED light in there, and you just simply have to drill a small hole into this receptor socket here. And then inside, as you saw before, there's lots of space to add electronics or other things, battery packs, etc., inside of the unit to hide it away. So we'll go ahead and install these. These would just be glued into place when you have them the way you want them. And then you just add it right there into the front. Go ahead and bring out your engine component that came with it. And that just simply slots into place. It can be held in mostly with friction, but it's probably good to put a little bit of glue in here just to keep this from moving around, unless you want it to be removable. Then I would just leave it in with friction. Then you have your engine cover. So that can just tab in here at the front. And there you have your engine cover. So that completes the bottom half of the tank build. From here, we'll start moving on towards the turret. So bring out the turret base, and this just simply rests in spot. As you can see, it rotates just fine. It has some good friction to it, but it is not meant to snap into place. So it will come off if you pick it up from here. This will not lift up the whole tank. Then from here, you'll want to bring out the missile pod rack. And the missile pod rack has a couple things that you'll need to do to it. Obviously, you'll need to insert the missiles in here. And on the back side, as you can see, sometimes it does get a little bit nicked up getting the support system out of here. But this can be colored in with a little green marker, or if you have any of that on your copy. But basically, you have these little panels here that will get glued right into spot. So you'll go ahead and take them and just simply glue them here right on the back panels. Again, I'm not using any glue for this demonstration. I'm just simply showing you exactly what needs to be done. So apply a little glue here. And then when it comes to the cap here, this is the cap that actually holds this all in place. What you want to do is start by inserting this front tab first, like this. And you'll want to kind of keep this up at a little bit of an angle. And put your missile pod in there at an angle. And then bring the whole, here, I'll twist this around so you can see from the front side. And you'll want to just bring the whole system down together. And then it just snaps into place. And there you have a missile pod. And then you got your missiles here to insert into the missile pod. And there you have it. Your missiles are now fully installed and your tank is ready for battle. I'll just give you a quick close-up of one of the missiles here. As you can see, they are printed in a silver metallic plastic to give you that kind of metallic missile look. And they're easily able to slot right in. They do stay in loose, so you just want to be careful. When you tilt it downwards, you're going to shoot yourself. So make sure you aim high. And there you have it. So there you have the assembly instructions. I just want to reiterate that we on purpose did not glue this one on camera, but we do highly recommend that you use a very strong glue, especially for these two top pieces and the two bottom pieces, as that really helps make the structure of the tank work quite well. Although you can get away with just a little bit of tape or a little bit of patience on just making sure the treads are connected, because once the treads are connected, it does actually hold it together quite well. But if you do want to glue it and you're not going to be taking it apart for painting down the road, I highly recommend just gluing it and then even using a soldering iron to weld it further. If you have any questions or you have any comments on this build, please leave it down in the description below and we'd be happy to answer any of them. If this interests you and you want to have one of these for your collection, then I recommend that you follow the link down in the description and that will take you right to the product page and where you can purchase your very own custom printed 1/12 scale Army vehicle from Graf-X Industries. I hope you found this video informative and instructive. Thanks for watching.